I want to say something to you that nobody has probably ever said to your face. You are not lazy. I mean that. Genuinely. Deeply. With no asterisk. You are not lazy. You are not unmotivated. You are not broken. You are not behind because something is fundamentally wrong with you. You are exhausted. You are drained. You are pouring your precious, limited, irreplaceable energy into the wrong places, and then wondering why you have nothing left for the things that actually matter to you. That feeling of lying in bed, knowing you should be doing something but physically not being able to move, that's not laziness. That's an empty tank. That feeling of scrolling for 2 hours when you meant to work for 2 minutes, that's not weakness. That's your brain desperately looking for stimulation because everything on your to-do list feels overwhelming and pointless. That voice in your head that says, "What is wrong with me? Why can't I just get it together?" I want you to silence that voice today because it has been lying to you. And today, we're going to find out the truth. Before we continue, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Chapter 1. The real problem. Here's the question nobody's asking you, but everyone should be. Where is your energy actually going? Not your time. Your energy. These are two very different things. You can have all the time in the world and still get nothing done if your energy is depleted. But when your energy is full and focused, you can accomplish in 2 hours what used to take 2 days. Think about the last week of your life. Not just what you did, but what you gave your energy to. The worry about things you can't control. The comparison to people whose life you're only seeing the highlight reel of. The toxic conversations that left you drained. The mindless scrolling that felt like rest, but wasn't. The guilt about not being productive. The guilt itself, which ironically made you even less productive. This is where your energy went. Not to nothing, to the wrong things. And here's the profound, life-changing insight underneath all of this. You were never the problem. The direction was the problem. Water doesn't stop being powerful when it gets lost in the desert. It stops being powerful when it has nowhere to flow. The moment you give it direction, a channel, a riverbed, a purpose, that same water carves through solid rock. You are the water. This video is about finding your riverbed. Chapter 2. The 4 silent energy thieves. Before we talk about where to put your energy, we need to talk about what's stealing it, because you cannot fill a bucket that has holes in it. There are 4 silent energy thieves operating in most young people's lives, and at least 2 of them are probably in yours right now. Thief 1. Unfinished decisions. Every decision you haven't made yet is silently draining your mental energy right now. The message you haven't replied to, the opportunity you haven't said yes or no to, the conversation you keep putting off, the plan you haven't committed to. Every single open loop in your mind requires a tiny but constant stream of mental energy to maintain. Psychologists call this the Zeigarnik effect. The brain clings to unfinished tasks far more than finished ones. This is why you lie awake at night thinking about things you haven't done rather than things you have. Your brain is an inbox, and unresolved decisions are unread emails, piling up, demanding attention, draining power. The fix? Make the decision. Any decision. Done badly is better than never decided. Close the loop, free the energy. Thief 2. Other people's urgency. This one is insidious. Other people are experts, without even realizing it, at making their priorities feel like your emergency. The colleague who needs something as soon as possible. Group chat that demands your response right now. The family member whose anxiety becomes your anxiety. The friend whose crisis becomes your crisis. Every time you drop what you're doing to respond to someone else's urgency, you hand your energy to their agenda and rob it from your own. Over the course of a day, a week, a career. This is the difference between people who build extraordinary things and people who spend their lives helping everyone else build theirs. Protect your focus hours. Not everything urgent is important. Not everything important is urgent. Learn the difference and protect your energy accordingly. Thief 3. The comparison spiral. Your phone is showing you a curated, filtered, highlight reel version of everyone else's life, and your brain is comparing it to your raw, unedited, behind-the-scenes reality. This is not a fair fight, and it is costing you more energy than almost anything else. Every moment you spend measuring your progress against someone else's timeline is a moment you are not investing in your own. The person you're comparing yourself to doesn't know your starting point, your obstacles, your private battles, or what you've already overcome just to be where you are right now. Comparison is an energy leak disguised as motivation. Real motivation comes from measuring yourself against your yesterday, not someone else's today. Thief 4, the lie of perfect conditions. I'll start when I feel ready, when I have more time, when things settle down, when I have more confidence, when the moment is right. This is perhaps the most expensive lie in the history of human potential. The perfect moment is not coming. It never comes. Because readiness is not a feeling you find. It's a feeling you build by starting before you feel ready. Every day you wait for the right conditions is a day you give your energy to waiting instead of building. And waiting is exhausting. Far more exhausting than just beginning. Chapter 3. The 3 places your energy actually belongs. All right, now we flip. We've talked about what's draining you. Now let's talk about what fills you and what actually moves your life forward when you give your energy to it. There are 3 places, just 3, where your energy investment pays the highest return. If you redirect even 60% of the energy currently being stolen by the 4 thieves into these 3 places, your life will look unrecognizable in 12 months. I am not exaggerating. Energy Zone 1, your one most important thing. Every single day, there is one thing, just one that if you did it well, would make every other thing less important or easier. Not 5 things, not a to-do list with 20 items. One thing. The people who consistently accomplish the most are not the ones who do the most tasks. They are the ones who are ruthlessly, almost obsessively focused on their most important thing, and they do that thing first, at their best, with their most powerful energy of the day. Tonight, before you sleep, ask yourself, what is the one thing I could do tomorrow that would make the biggest difference? Write it down. Do it first tomorrow morning, before email, before your phone, before everything. Give your best energy to your most important work, not to other people's inboxes. Energy Zone 2, the skill that multiplies everything. There is a category of energy investment that the majority of people massively underestimate, and the most successful people massively overinvest in. It's called skill building. And here is why it is so powerful. When you build the right skills, your effort multiplies. An hour of work from a skilled person produces 10 times the output of an hour from an unskilled one. Skill is leverage. It is the force multiplier that makes everything else you do more powerful, more valuable, and more efficient. 1 year of focused skill development, 30 minutes a day, consistently can move you from average to expert level in most fields. And expertise doesn't just earn you more, it energizes you, because doing something well is one of the deepest sources of human motivation. Competence creates confidence. Confidence creates momentum. Momentum creates the feeling people mistakenly call motivation. You don't find motivation and then build skill. You build skill and motivation follows. Energy Zone 3, the people who pull you forward. You're, whether you like it or not, a reflection of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Their habits become your habits. Their beliefs about what's possible become your beliefs. Their energy becomes your energy. If the people closest to you are comfortable with mediocrity, if they mock ambition, if they drain more than they give, if every conversation leaves you feeling smaller than when it started, then some of your most important energy decisions are about relationships. This doesn't mean abandoning everyone you love. It means being intentional. Seek out people who are doing what you want to do. People who make you want to be better just by being around them. People whose belief in what's possible stretches your own. Energy is contagious. Make sure you're catching the right kind. Chapter 4. Your Daily Energy Blueprint. Now I want to give you something concrete. A simple daily structure, not a rigid schedule, but a blueprint for how to honor your energy every single day. This is not complicated. In fact, its power is in its simplicity. The first hour belongs to you, non-negotiable. Before you look at your phone, before you check messages, before the world's noise floods in, give yourself 1 hour of intentional energy. Move your body for even 10 minutes. Feed your mind with something that inspires or teaches you. Set your intention for the day. Ask yourself, who do I want to be today? What matters most? This hour is not a luxury. It is the foundation everything else is built on. The people who own their mornings own their days. The people who give their first hour to their phone are giving their best energy to everyone else's agenda before their own day has even begun. The peak hours, your deepest work, protected and sacred. Identify the 2 to 3 hours of your day when your focus is sharpest. For most people, this is mid-morning. Block this time. Put it in your calendar like an unmovable meeting with the most important client of your life, because you are that client. During these hours, no meetings if you can avoid it, no email, no social media. Phone on silent, face down, preferably in another room. Just you and your most important work. Full presence. No guilt, no distraction. This is where the real building happens. Every 90 minutes, your brain needs to rest. This is biology, not weakness. The most productive people in the world are not the ones who push through the longest without stopping. They are the ones who rest with the same intentionality they work with. Real rest means stepping fully away. A short walk, 5 minutes of silence. Closing your eyes, not scrolling, not checking messages, actual disconnection. So that when you return, your brain has genuinely recovered and is ready to perform at full power again. At the end of every day, spend 15 minutes in reflection, not self-criticism. Reflection. What did you do today that mattered? What drained you unnecessarily? And how can you reduce that tomorrow? What are you proud of? What is the one thing you need to do tomorrow? This daily review is how you continuously improve, not in big dramatic leaps, but in tiny, consistent, compounding adjustments. Over weeks and months, this habit turns average days into exceptional ones. Chapter 5. Becoming the person who doesn't waste energy. I want to go a little deeper with you now, because everything I've shared so far is practical and it works. But lasting change doesn't come from tactics. It comes from identity. Here's what I mean. There are 2 ways to change your behavior. The first is to use willpower to force yourself to do different things, and this works for a while, until you're tired or stressed or tempted, and then the old patterns come rushing back. The second way is to change how you see yourself, to shift your identity, to stop saying, I'm trying to be more focused, and start saying, I am someone who protects their energy. To stop saying, I'm trying to build better habits, and start saying, I am someone who does the work. Your behavior follows your identity, not the other way around. Every time you honor your energy, every time you close the app, do the hard task first. Take the real rest. Invest in the skill you're casting a vote for the person you are becoming. 1 vote doesn't decide an election, but 1,000 votes, cast consistently, day after day does. You're not trying to become a different person. You're already that person, in potential, in possibility. Every good decision you make is just you revealing who you already are underneath the noise, the distraction, and the lies you've been told about yourself. The laziness was never you. It was just misdirected energy looking for a worthy destination. Today, right now, you can give it one. Last but not the least, I want to paint you a picture. Somewhere in the world right now, there's a version of you that figured this out. A version of you that stopped fighting themselves and started directing themselves. That stopped leaking energy into worry and comparison and waiting and started pouring it deliberately into the few things that truly matter. That version of you wakes up in the morning without dread, not because their life is perfect. It's not. But because they know who they are and what they're building. They face hard days with clarity instead of chaos. They make mistakes and recover quickly because they're not wasting energy on guilt. They are fully, completely, brilliantly themselves. That version of you is not far away. It is not a fantasy reserved for special, lucky, extraordinarily talented people. It is one decision away. The decision to stop believing the lie that you are lazy and start believing the truth. You are powerful, purposeful, and just waiting to be pointed in the right direction. You have more in you than you have ever shown the world. More creativity, more resilience, more capacity for focus, for discipline, for love, for impact. It has been there this whole time, quietly, patiently waiting for you to stop apologizing for it and start using it. You are not lazy. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are misplaced energy about to find its direction.